I'm very pleased to have UK Uncut people with us here today. There's a lot of people that I recognise while walking around who will be working with Leeds against the cuts, and UK Uncut have got a special piece of work to do, of course, which they continue to do and do extremely well. I'm very pleased they're with us today, and I'd like to invite John Bradshaw to address you. John?
Good afternoon, friends, colleagues and comrades. It's a pleasure to be here. Solidarity with all our trade union comrades here today. Leeds UK Uncut is a part of the national UK Uncut campaign. We're non-political. What we do know is that all the cuts are completely unnecessary. They're built on an economic myth by a bloke who's a numpty with a degree in history and no economic training whatsoever. Everybody here would make a better economist than George Osborne. Every single one of us. The only difference between you and him in most cases is that you don't have any of your Eton connections to pull the levers of power for you. So, UK Uncut, what we do know is that we're getting collectively, not just UK Uncut, everybody involved in anti-cuts movements, we know we're rattling the cage, because yesterday, as many of you will know, there was an orchestrated attack on a load of groups, and we saw 50 Facebook pages taken down on a day when there wasn't much else happening in the news. So, we know we've got them rattled. Across the country they're taking down Facebook pages and using spurious excuses for it. We know it's not the truth. We know we've got them rattled. We know that protest is working. Days like today make a difference, and that's why UK Uncut are proud to have been invited to be able to take part and to nick a few of you at the end to go back up to Vodafone and back to Topshop and all the other tax dodgers on the high street, and we're going to say, pay your tax, pay your tax, pay your tax, pay your tax, pay your tax. Thank you. We'll see you on the high street. Check us out. Big Society Leeds. Tax collectors may have had the Facebook page closed down, but Leeds Uncut has risen from the ashes. Check us out on Leeds Uncut. Find out where his actions are taking place by visiting UK Uncut on the website. Friends, see you later. See you on the high street.
I'm Secretary of Leeds Metropolitan University, Paul Blackledge. Paul?
I'm proud to speak today after a midwife. My partner had a baby a couple of years ago at Leeds General Infirmary that almost died. And because of the heroic work of those people in intensive, the midwives in intensive care and on the transitional ward, I've now got a gorgeous 2-year-old. And those bastards who are taking the axe out at the NHS ought to be absolutely ashamed of themselves when they have midwives having to come up here and stand and fight to defend the NHS against rich boys from Eton. You can judge a society by the way it treats its weakest, by the way it treats the people who need the welfare state. The constant attacks that we're seeing against, scroungers who are on invalidity benefits and all the rest of this rhetoric that we're getting at the minute. The weakest people in society. The attacks on the pensioners, constantly being told that we can't afford the pensions. Absolute nonsense. As productivity increases every year at a higher rate than life expectancy goes up, we can give the pensioners a better and better and better deal every single year. It's a class thing when they attack us. It's their class having contempt for our class, and we've got to fight back. The other side is the way in which they treat the youth. I'm a lecturer at Leeds Met, and to see the attacks on the students at the moment, the way in which the government is basically taking something, education, which is the cultural mechanism, a mechanism by which the cultural general universal knowledge of humanity is passed from one generation to the next, and they're taking that and put a bloody dollar sign on its head and saying you can have it if you've got enough money, and your kids from the council estates can't have it. It's an absolute utter disgrace. Now, it's one thing to say that they are attacking it. It's interesting as well to actually see the way in which the fees have now gone to 8,700 as an average, and they were looking at $6 grand. Theoretically, it shows that this government hasn't thought through what it's doing. It's back of the fact packet economics. They've had the pause over the NHS. They're making a mess about with the education system. And what we've got to do is we've got to recognise that for what it is. We've got a nasty, horrible, brutish government attacking us, but they're also incredibly weak, and they've not thought through what they're doing. If we fight back, we can win. The students showed us how to do it last year. We have fought in UCU. We were told by various people, you can't win a ballot for strike action. We fought for that ballot for strike action, and we had a unified strike of all the old universities, the new universities and the FE colleges across the country on the 24th. We had more people on picket lines at Leeds Met than we've ever had before, because people are prepared. If you give a lead, people are prepared to take a fight back. What does that mean in terms of concrete? It's very easy to come here and talk about the bastards who are running this country. We've got to be more concrete than that. We've got to say we need to take them on. We need to build on the student demonstration. We need to build on the UCU strike. We need to do absolutely everything that we can to make sure the potential strike on the 30th of June to defend pensions across the public sector is a massive strike that pulls out everybody in this country and shows to them the level of feeling that we have got on our side. They're the posh boys in their nice suits from Eton and Uxbridge. We're the ordinary people fighting for democracy and civilisation against these people. We've got to take the struggle forward. We've got to move forward and not focus. I mean, good God, next week I'm going to be voting. Next week I'm going to be voting against the condemns. I'll vote against AV because the only people that's going to benefit are the Liberals. Right? But the focus in my life's not going to be the vote next week. The focus in my life is the strikes, potential strikes on the 30th of June. That's what we need to be focusing on. The power of workers is in the workplace. That's where we need to be going from this meeting today, and to say, actually, if we attack these people, if we fight back, we can defeat a nasty, horrible, but very importantly, weak, condemned government. Cheers.